Hello, welcome to the YouTube channel Geographia with Rashid Farid. This is Rashid Aziz Faridi from Department of Geography, AMU Aligarh. Today we will discuss about the two terms generally used in urbanization. Those are trends and patterns. These terms are used with each other and sometimes they confuse the students. Today we will try to establish distinction between these terms. A trend is a change or development towards something new or different. It is a trend like a graph, this, this, this. This is the trend. How the urbanization is rising and or falling. This is the trend. But a pattern is the repeated or regular way in which something happens or is done. It is an arrangement of lines and shapes, especially a design in which the same shape is repeated at regular intervals over a surface. Like in this graph, the pattern is repeating itself, or you can say like this. There is a repeated pattern. So this is the pattern and this is the trend. So these two terms are distinct and these are very often used in urban geography. Now we will discuss about global trends of urbanization. As you know, more than half of the world's population lives in urban area. Due to the ongoing urbanization and growth of world's population, there will be about 2.5 billion more people added to the urban population by 2050. Mainly in Africa and Asia, Asian cities are growing very fast. Many of the fastest growing cities are found in the continent. In India, interestingly, Tier 2 cities have a faster growing rate. Not super cities. Tier 2 cities are growing faster than the super cities or metro cities. The world's urban areas are highly varied, but many cities and towns are facing problems such as lack of jobs, homelessness, and expanding squatter settlements, inadequate services and infrastructure, poor health and educational services, and high levels of pollution and poor health facilities. This is the most remarkable case in Asian cities. Our cities lacking in infrastructure and inadequate services. And our cities are hub of squatter settlements. In 1960, the global urban population was 34% of the total. However, by 2014, the urban population accounted for 54% of the total and continued to grow. By 2050, the proportion living in urban areas is expected to reach 66%, according to UNDESA. The rural and urban population are changing differently. Urban population is increasing more. Rural population has a stagnating growth in absolute number as well as in trends. The process of urbanization affects all sizes of settlements. So villages gradually grow to become small towns. Smaller towns become larger towns, and large towns become cities. They grow like this. Smaller towns, then they become a larger town, and they become super cities. A megacity is a concept, is a romantic concept used in urbanization. A megacity is an urban area of greater than 10 million people. This is the definition of a megacity. Rapid expansion of city borders, driven by increase in population and infrastructure development, leads to the expansion of city borders that spread out and swallow up neighboring urban areas to form megacities. Suppose there are many cities, this city grows very fast. Ultimately, it engulfs the surrounding cities, this or this, and become a whole mega city. In 1970, there were only 3 megacities across the globe. But by the year 2000, the number had risen to 17, and by 2030, 24 megacities are supposed to be added in world. The global trend in urbanization is not the same in all parts of the world. Asia and Africa currently have the highest rate of urbanization, and reached Europe and North America has reached a saturation point. These cities are not growing very fast. Now we will see global patterns of urbanization. We were talking about trends. As you know, trends and patterns are distinct terms. The world passed a landmark statistic sometimes in 2014 when it was estimated that for the first time in human history, over 50% of the world's population was living in urban areas. Before that, the world was predominantly rural. Now, the world is predominantly urban. Soon, the world will be a big urban realm. For urbanization to happen, people need to move into cities rather than be born in them. The end result is a growth in the size of urban spaces, which could also be called built environments. We are sometimes called urban environment as built environment because there is more built up area in cities. Urban populations grow as a result of rural urban migration, which is because of pull factors of cities. Pull factor predominates as people anticipate an improved quality of life in a city together with enhanced future prospects for themselves and their family. Rural urban migration, which is forced because of push factors. Push factor predominates as a result of environmental pressures in rural areas like flood, droughts, lack of facilities, food shortages, political conflict. More directly, government policy of moving rural inhabitants to cities may take any choice away from the migration. China's bureaucratic relocation involved in the National New Type Urbanization Plan 2014 to 20 foresees moving over 260 million people to cities in an attempt to modernize social and economic systems. An easier prospect when people are gathered rather than dispersed. Actually, city planners say that congestion is good against the popular perception that congestion is not good. From the point of view of services distribution, infrastructure development, congestion is good. Dense population is good. Assimilation is also an important part of urban expansion. As urban areas expand, they may incorporate nearby small towns, as we have seen earlier, and villages into expansive conurbations. The term urban sprawl denotes the rapid spatial expansion of an urban area that is likely to surround and incorporate previously separate settlements. Rapid suburbanization took place as mass house building occurred in the decade after the Second World War. Rebuilding bomb-damaged cities and providing higher quality housing became a priority for the Labour government after 1945 in UK and continued through successive governments. In order to prevent urban sprawl that had been a feature of the 1930s, much development was focused on the New Town program and destinating green belt and around major cities, among other priorities, prevent cities merging into unbroken urban development. What is the global patterns of urbanization? Now we will discuss about it. North America, Europe, and Oceania underwent their fastest urbanization rates well before 1945. In the 19th century, South and Central America urbanized rapidly during the 1960s to 80s, while the industrialization and economic take-up of many Asian countries in the 1980s to the present day has been accompanied by rapid urbanization. This is likely to continue into the coming decades as economic rural areas. The continent that is presently starting to see rapid urbanization occurring is Africa, with cities such as Dar es Salaam, which is in Tanzania, which is due to grow by 85% between 2010 to 2025. Nairobi, Kinshasa, and the continent's largest city, Lagos. Here we have to take into account the emergence of mega cities, world cities, and their role in global and regional economies. Mega cities are defined by their size rather than their global significance. It may be one city, such as Cairo, Egypt, or merging of a number of cities into a continuous built up area, like Tokyo, Yokohama in Japan. They have doubled over the past 2 decades, from 14 in 1995 to 29 in 2016. Megacities have doubled. So it is a urban century. We are living in urban century. Their development is more likely where rapid economic growth is concentrated in a limited number of locations within a country. Mass rural urban migration tends to be focused on these core urban areas rather than dispersed between a wider set of optional cities that migrants may select from where different decisions made. Migration has a very important role to play in urban expansion. Megacities can benefit from efficient infrastructure such as mass transport systems and economically with both horizontal and vertical industrial integration. There is both horizontal and vertical industrial integration in megacities. However, urban problem may be magnified in megacities. All is not good in megacities. Urban problems magnify. At a certain point, the infrastructure is unable to hold the massive population and problems crops up and double and triple. Megacities are frequently major global hubs of manufacturing and export, like Shenzhen, China, and Delhi, in which goods are produced efficiently and at low cost and exported to the major world markets. They are also key markets themselves for basic raw materials and components and energy resources. So they are manufacturing hub as well as they are the key markets. The goods goes out in massive and they come in massive. We will discuss in next lecture that the Asian or developing mega cities are viable or not. Meanwhile, you can find more details on my blog, Rashid's blog. The address is rashidfaridi.com. You can give feedback to me here and you can subscribe the channel for further lectures or further anticipation. Thank you for your